Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Chetna and this is my data world. In this video, I would like to talk about a topic that has really shaken my world. I've been addicted to Shark Tank India, not just for the drama, but also the kind of innovation that people bring to the fore. There have been grassroots level innovations, new market creation, so many things that inspired me. I wanted to analyze these deal trends and also test the mettle of PandasAI and Streamlit. I have a whole Medium article for which I have the link below in the description box. But now, let me take you through the whole journey of what I did and what kind of limits I could find that PandasAI had, or what kind of things I could achieve. So let's get started. Firstly, for those who do not have Streamlit or Pandas AI installed in your laptop, what you would have to do is go to your command prompt, and in your Python environment, you can install Streamlit and Pandas AI using pip install Streamlit and pip install Pandas AI. Let me show you how. So this is my command prompt, and I just have to do pip install Streamlit. I already have it, so I probably will get a message saying requirements already fulfilled. Or maybe I will get the updated version if there is any. And there you go. Now for Pandas AI, I just have to do pip install Pandas AI, and that should also work. Now, because I also have Pandas AI already, I might get requirement already satisfied, or I might get an updated version of it, same as Streamlit. So that's it, and you're good to go. Now, to look at the dashboard that you will create, what you need to do is you need to go to the place where you have your Streamlit app built, and then you have to run it. My Streamlit app is in a folder called Shark Tank Database, and I have already moved into that path. All I need to do here is do Streamlit run and the file name. So I think it's called Shark Tank Deal Analysis Python, and run it. What this will do is it will start running the app on localhost, and it will also tell me where it is hosted locally. If something happens, you can just copy the local URL, paste it in your web browser, and you're good to go. So this is what my Shark Tank Deal Analyzer looks like. I created a multi-page app. Basically, the app has two pages. The first one is an introduction page, which tells you a little bit about Shark Tank and what kind of data I'm looking at and what are the things that I want to learn from this data. And the other one is the analysis itself. So this is what it looks like. Now let me show you how I built the app. So I've opened the code, and if you see here, in order to get a multi-page setup in Streamlit, you need to first have the app file itself, and in the same folder where you have the app, in the same folder where you have the main page, you also need to add another folder called pages, where you will add your subsequent page codes. So Shark Tank Deals Analysis is my main page, and in the pages folder, I have analysis.py. Analysis, I wrote down a little bit about the introduction and the details. So I've imported Streamlit, Pandas, AI, OpenAI, Matplotlib, Seaborn, PIL, all of this. The reason I imported PIL is because I wanted to change the favicon on my web page. So you can see the icon on the tab that I've put up, and I've selected the PNG. The PNG file looks a little bit like this. It is cute, and it's like a combination of the logo of Pandas AI, which is the panda, and the logo of Streamlit, which is that red ship that also looks like a crown. So I just kind of transposed it for a little bit of quirk, and I put that in the main page. And then I also gave my web page a heading using st.header and a subheading with st.subheader. And then I put the body in st.right. So I do have like 2 paragraphs in there, which you will be able to see. Okay. And then we move on to the analysis page. What the analysis page looks like. Here, I'm doing 3 main things. First one is loading the dataset itself, and then calling on an LLM using an API token. I'm using the OpenAI API token because I have an account and I do have an existing live token that I can use. Remember, once you run out of your bandwidth or your credit on OpenAI, you can no longer use it. Even if you use it, you get an error message saying response cannot be generated or something like that. And make sure that you have enough credit to test out your application. And then I'm also going to create a text area where I can put in my user query, where I can put in my query and wait for the LLM to work through Pandas AI and give me a response. So this is going to be a very conversational data analysis kind of a format where, based on a structured data, I ask the LLM a query and the LLM does the job of retrieving the answer and also plot graphs based on my prompts and my inputs. So for this, I'm going to do your general pd.read CSV because my files were in CSV format. And then I'm going to give my token here. Of course, for privacy reasons, I put stars in there, but you will be able to get your OpenAI token from the API section on the OpenAI account that you have. You just need to log in, go to the API section, and select your token. The next step is to create an OpenAI object instance called LLM, where you will be feeding your token, and then you will be able to use this LLM or OpenAI object to give response to your inputs. If you want, you can swap out OpenAI with other supported models like Hugging Face Text Generator. There is Falcon and some more models that it supports. You can look at the documentation to look at which model you prefer, and then you can go ahead with that. In my system, I have given an option where the user can select between Shark Tank India data and Shark Tank US data. And based on the option selected, if it is India, then I load the India dataset. And if it is the USA option, then I show the USA data. Just to give the user a glimpse of the data, I have also shown the head of the table so that they know what kind of columns are there and what kind of queries they can ask based on these variables. Now for the heart of the model, which is the prompt and the response. I'm going to create a text area where the user can enter a query. And I'm going to save that as my prompt. And then I'm going to give a generate button. When the user presses on generate, then the LLM takes in the query and generates the response. The main part is the option create a smart data frame out of the data frame given. The smart data frame is an object provided by Pandas AI where it converts a Pandas data frame into a smarter data frame which can interact with these LLMs. I have also printed out the response to the prompt. First of all, to elicit the response, you do option.chat of prompt. This will give you the output. And I have written this on the Streamlit web page using st.write. And if nothing has been provided and yet generate button has been pressed, then there is a warning button saying please enter a prompt. This is a very simple snippet, but let me show you the end result of this. So this is what my web page looks like. This is the standard default theme that Streamlit has, which is a black and gray and white. But if you want to change the look and feel of the website, you can do that. All you need to do is go to the three dots beside deploy and select settings. And you can say edit active theme. And you can choose your primary color, your background color. You can just change it. You can change the font. You can do all of that. If you don't know the hex code of your colors, I suggest you go to colorhunt.co and you will get different color palettes. You can select the hex codes and you can just put them in there. For example, if I just want to change, let's say the background color, I'm going to select background color and I'm going to swap it out. And this should change the background already. Let's say I want to change the secondary background color. Let me pick something darker, maybe this one. And I'm going to put it in there. So that should help. So this is how I can change the colors out. And let's say I'm going to use black for the or near black for the text. So this is basically what my end result looks like. You don't need to use code for every single thing on Streamlit. You can also do something like this. Now, this is the first page, the main page of the Analyzer app, where I had written a header, a subheader, and some text in there. And then for the main part, which is analysis. So in this page, by default, India is selected. You can swap it out, of course, with US one, and you will get the US data. But for now, I'm just going to stick with India. I was looking at some kind of biases and stuff. So I was more looking towards, I was more curious about how many female founded startups received an offer. How many times was it more than the asking amount? How many times was it less than the asking amount? Which investor invested how much in female oriented businesses, or what were the main businesses which had female owners? So I started with broader questions and then narrowed it down to the points of interest. So let me type in a few queries. What percentage, maybe in hindsight black was not a good color. Let me just revert it to the default so you can see the questions that I'm writing in. I'm going to say maybe light, right? So this makes it easier for everyone to read. What percentage of startups have female, sorry for being really sloppy with my typing errors, but yeah, anyway. So what percentage of startups have female presenters? Because in the data set, what happened is a founder is denoted by the column presenter. So female presenter means a female founder who presented the pitch. And I click on generate. So it says 55.059. Let's see if this is really true. How many startups pitched in total, and how many of them had only female, or okay, let's say had female presenters, right? Female presenters. Now let's generate that. So you see what's happening. The model is taking a natural language input and then trying to present a natural language kind of output out of structured data. So let's see what the value turns out to be. So 185 divided by 336, that's, yeah, 55%. So I can say that here the model got it right. Now let's look at how many startups had only female presenters. Let's see that. Because if you look at the data, there are some startups which have male and female presenters. So it's a mixed kind of foundation. But then I wanted to see how many of them had just female presenters. I can already say this is wrong because I can already find here one startup where there is one female presenter. So I feel like the model didn't get it right. Let me try another way. Let me say how many startups had no male presenters, which is like a very twisted way to say how many startups had female presenters. So let's generate a response for this. I hope it's not zero. I hope it's at least one. Just 43. That sounds like a believable number. But what I wanted to demonstrate here was the fact that not all LLMs are 100% correct. There is still some misunderstanding in the models, which needs to be fine tuned, or your prompts need to be better posed. I want to say plot a pie chart of all startups by industry. Now let's see what happens. The output is not the most beautiful one, I admit. It's all cluttered, but it got the numbers probably right. It has all the startup industries and then it looks at the proportion of each. So far, okay, not too bad. Now let's look at plot a graph of the total investment, debt, and royalty offered by each investor. Yeah, hopefully this works. I would probably expect a group chart with the x-axis having each investor's name and then 3 bars, one for the investment amount, one for the debt amount, and one for the royalty. But yeah, there are many other ways of representing the same data. Let's see how creative Pandas AI gets. Okay. Yeah, that's super blank, which means the model couldn't really understand the question. So that's fine. But then it got one part right, which is the legend. This is one of the limitations. So you need to craft your prompts much, much sharper and better. With Pandas AI, I was not able to get clean, good bivariate graphs. I was only able to get the univariate graphs where you're analyzing only one aspect of the data, one column or one particular feature of the data. So that's one place where it struggled quite a bit. Let me try another one. Which industries have the most amount of startups in all 3 seasons put together? Let's see if the model gets this question correct. So it should give me a list of industries. So it did tell me that the food industry is the highest. So let's modify the question. Which are the top 5 industries? So, which are the top 5 industries that have the highest amount of startups in all 3 seasons put together? And what is the absolute and percentage number? Or let me say, what are the absolute and percentage numbers? Let's see if it gets it right. So I have given it a very specific prompt saying I want 5 industries in all 3 seasons put together. And I don't just want the industries, but also how many startups belong to each of them and what is the percentage number. So I hope it gets it right. So it's a little bit more complicated, but more specific. See, I was not able to answer your question. So let me make it a little bit simpler for the model. So I'm going to take that back and I'm going to say generate. Okay, so there are some errors coming up. This could also be because there is some issue with the tokens. Maybe I've reached the limit. From this little project, I do have 3 takeaways. Even though putting together the solution was not really a big deal, the main takeaways that I have are threefold. Firstly, I think data preprocessing is still very important, and the large language models, no matter how advanced they are, need a little bit of guidance, which takes me to the second takeaway, which is LLMs are famous not to get structured data analysis right. So this kind of reflects there. Third one is no matter how well tuned LLMs are, there is still a level of hallucination that needs to be accounted for, which means you still need to do a little bit of prompt engineering to get the results that you want. And that still does not guarantee a result that is accurate or appropriate. So you just have to keep trying and make sure that the model understands what you want from it. So, yeah, so that's the end of my project, and I'll see you again in the next video. Ciao.